Hello there. This has been an interesting week, at least in relation to sleep. I've noticed that on nights where I'm asleep between 6.5 and 7 hours, it is a little more difficult for me to wake up in the morning, but once I get going, I feel energetic throughout the day. And when I compare these nights to nights where I was asleep for 8 hours, it was easier for me to wake up in the morning, but my energy levels were never as high, and I tended to have a dip in energy in the middle of the day. Now, this could be explained by diet or activity levels instead of sleep duration, but I've also noticed that on my shorter nights, my 7-hour nights, let's say, I have greater sleep continuity than on my 8-hour nights. Now, sleep continuity measures the proportion of your night that is interrupted, that is spent awake. And most interruptions are short, so you don't remember them in the morning, though some can be remembered. And when I look at the data from my watch, my shorter nights, this one was just under 7 hours, I had a sleep continuity score of 3.5 out of 5, so fairly high for me. Whereas on my 8-hour night, it was 1.8 out of 5. In addition to that, on those longer nights, I have memories of sleep interruptions, so where I'm rolling over and falling back asleep. So based on that evidence, I believe that sleep duration is playing some role in how I'm feeling during the day in terms of my energy levels, and that getting up to 8 hours of sleep is not as effective as, say, 6 hours and 50 minutes of sleep for me, at least in comparing these days. Now, I'm going to have to pay attention to this going forward, but it is something interesting to think about. Now, I'm also going to talk about coffee. Now, I assume most of you are already using coffee to combat sleep, but coffee has another use that I think is pretty interesting in relation to sleep. And I learned about this while at Whitworth University studying under Dr. Westcomb, who was conducting research on coffee and naps and how coffee could be used to remove the groggy feeling that some people experience after a nap. And the protocol was that you'd have a cup of coffee, then take a 15-minute nap, so you'd go to sleep with a timer for 15 minutes, and when the timer woke up, the coffee would have entered your bloodstream and would be making you feel alert, thus counteracting any groggy feeling you'd have from issues with sleep cycles or whatever else it was in sleep that was causing you to feel groggy. Now, I assume that Dr. Westcomb never ended up publishing this research because he retired while working on this project. So I thought it would be a good idea to share it here, especially since the consequences of having a little bit of coffee before a nap are so minimal. So hopefully you can gain something from that piece of research that Dr. Westcomb was working on. And until next time, cheers.